Hey, how are you? Welcome to the Linux Ninja. And today we're talking about Systemctl. And if you're running a modern Linux distribution, odds are that you're running Systemctl. It manages your services, your boot process, your system logs, and other things. So it can feel a bit overwhelming. Like, where do I start? What commands do I use? So today, let's just cut through the noise. Let's get straight to it. I'm going to show you my favorite commands that I use most often, a real world Systemctl commands list, if you will, that you actually need to manage either your workstation or your server. So let's just dive in. The command that we're going to be using for everything is Systemctl. So get used to it. We're going to need sudo powers, so let's do that. And let's just use this as an example because the status option for the Systemctl command is what you're going to probably use most of the time because it is just splendid. You get an overview, the last few lines from the log, and you get memory usage and if it's active, running, if it's enabled, etc. So I recommend starting everything with status. If there's an issue in the log file, you can see that there's something wrong and it's not active, it's not running. The next thing that I would do is restart. That just restarts the service. Bada bing. We're going to talk about reload later, so wait for that. If you want to see all the systemd units, Systemctl list units, this is going to show you all the systemd units that are active and loaded into memory. So remember when I said that systemd handles boot process, services, system logs, and etc. The etc. you can see it right here. You have, let's just go down. You have slices, you have targets, you have sockets, timers. So all of these things. All of these things are active and running on my machine right now. You can see 199 loaded units. So what if you wanted to see everything that's available, not everything that's currently loaded? So list unit files, this is going to show you everything. And I use this all the time because I just like the overview of seeing everything that's disabled. Maybe it's masked, maybe it's just not running. So at work, use this all the time. And then type. You can set the type. Let's say we want to see just services. So service. Now you can see all the services that are on the hard drive. Doesn't matter if they're not loaded or in memory. So let's just clear that. And you can, of course, change this for whatever you want. Socket or timer, etc. So play around with that. It might surprise you what's actively either running or not running on your system. This one is for you scripters out there. So if you do Systemctl, status, stdm, this is a lot to get back. It's kind of hard to work with that. So something that is easy and nice and quick is active. It is active. Is enable it. It is enable it. Is failed. So we can use these three to check quickly and get a response if something is active, failed, enabled, etc. This leads us to the question, how do I enable a service? And yes, you win $100. It is enable, then the service name, Systemctl. Let's first do list unit files and type service. Let's grep disabled. Here we can see all of the services that are on my machine, I'm a machine, that are disabled currently. So let's just pick one like this one. I'm going to disable it later. So Systemctl, of course, we're going to need sudo powers for this one. Sudo Systemctl enable, and you would do this, and this would enable the service. So if you want to enable and then start it right away, you do this because otherwise you would then have to do this. So it's kind of like, but it's kind of cool. Enable now, but let's do enable. Let's see, sudo. That's the new hip cool sudo. Oh man. Okay. And now let's do systemctl status of I picked the worst name, like the worst. So it's active and running. Okay. Enabled, preset disabled. Cool. So let's just stop that. See, we're just so using everything right away that we're I queried the wrong one. That's why I was like, it's running? Okay. This happens when you're recording like just live stuff. You're not. Okay, there it is. That's what I wanted to show you. I was just surprised. I'm going to leave that in there. An Easter egg of suckiness. Enable. So I did enable. So it is enabled. It's just inactive. So systemctl start. See, if you would have done -- now, it would have started. So there it is. It's amazing. So now you know that. Let's go to the next thing. That was fun, wasn't it? So if you ever want to know what's in those files, you just cat it out. You don't have to go looking for it. Like, where is it? You can see where it is if you cat it. So the thing is, if you want to change something here, you do not do it directly on this file. Do not do that, because that's going to be overwritten in an update. Sooner or later, it's going to bite you in the behind. So you do edit, permission denied, because I hate sudo and I keep forgetting to put it in there. So you would do this, and this is going to create an override configuration file for this service. So that's how you edit this, and that's how you make it work. I'm just going to nano. I don't even know how to leave. X marks the spot. So did not create anything, but this is how you edit a systemd unit file. And if you do create a systemd override configuration file, you're going to have to poke the bear, because systemd is not going to know about it automatically. So systemctl daemon-reload. So this is going to reload all the configuration files and just check. Did that bastard create an override configuration file? Is he assuming control of the machine? Now that you know about daemon-reload, I'm going to bring you into the circle of trust. And remember, systemctl restart. To restart the service, let's just do network manager.service. This would restart the network manager service. So if you created an override configuration file, it would just kill it, restart the whole shebang. But some services are better than that. They're upper class. Reload or restart. And what this does, it checks if the service supports a reload. It's going to reload the configuration files. If not, it's just going to restart it. So really do that if you can. So you might wonder, how do I know if the service supports reload or not? You would do that by systemctl cat network manager, and you look for this exec reload line. And what happens right here is busctl sends a dbus message to network manager. It's like, hey, there's a new configuration. Reload it. So reload, that is going to happen, and that's how that works. Let's say you have a service that is on the no-flight list. You don't want it running ever. So you think systemctl disable, and you did that. You think you're safe, you're good, but no, you're not, because other systemd services can call this service and fire it up if it's a dependency. So what you have to do, so it's on the no-fly list, is to mask it. That means that other systemd services cannot call it. And yes, you guessed it, you mask to unmask. Here's another favorite of mine. Systemctl failed just to get a quick overview if any of the units failed. If it did fail, you can do sudo systemctl and of course restart. That is the popular option, but you can do reset failed and then stdm.service. Not many use that option, but you can. If a service fails, you're going to have to investigate why that happened, right? So check out my journalctl video. It is splendid. It is a feast for the eyes. And I show you all my journalctl commands and how I investigate, debug, and look into these pesky services like SDDM. Of course, the link is in the description, so check it out. One more point and we are done for today. What if your server or your workstation is extremely slow when it's booting? Well, the cool thing about systemd is that it keeps a record of all units and how long it takes to fire them up. So systemd analyze, this is just kind of like an overview. It took 7.7 seconds to reach user space where I can log in. So this is kind of like just a nice overview. So another thing that we can do is blame, and then you can see the comprehensive list of all the units and how long it took for each one. Another thing that I don't see thrown around a lot on the interwebs is critical chain. So that looks great to me because you can see this is the final resting place before everything was loaded. But you can see what depends on what. It started at this time, and then it took 374 milliseconds. So systemd update done was at this time, plus that took 24 milliseconds. So you can just go up the tree, if you will. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Click like and subscribe, of course. And until the next time, appreciate you watching, your time, and everything so stunning, you creature. Until next time, peace out. Bye.